Welcome back to another reaction video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for clicking on this video. If you're clicking for the first time, you're welcome. And if you are clicking for more than once, welcome again. And thank you for sticking to our channel. So today's video, we are reacting to the Canadian flag, the Canadian provincial flags ranked.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to be ranking the flags of each province. Okay, so I don't, regardless of what the person, the video creator is doing, our main aim is to see the flags of each province. Yeah, so possibly learn the history behind the flag and stuff like that. So we're not going to take into account whatever is ranking. I will see my own best flag there, regardless of what he's going to say. So yeah. Please let us know from which province you are watching and if you like your flag and which one is your best flag among them all.
Okay.
Thank you.
This video is sponsored by Brilliant.org. More on
Okay,
that
brilliant.
later. Hi, this is Matt Baker. A few months ago, a certain YouTuber made a video called Does Your Flag Fail?, in which he graded all of the US state flags using a tier list. Well, since today is Canada Day, I thought it would be fun to do something similar, but this time using Canadian flags. Now, the first thing you need to know is that Canada is not made up of states. It's made up of provinces, 10 to be exact. However, in addition to its 10 provinces, Canada also has 3 territories. So in total, I'll be grading 13 flags. I'm going to go west to east, starting with the provincial flags, which means that the flag of British Columbia is up first. Now, British Columbia happens to be the province where I live, but I'm not going to give it any special treatment. And to tell you the truth, I am not a fan of this flag. For one thing, I really hate how the
Why?
UK flag at the top is stretched out. I mean, that's just really bad graphic design. I also don't like how the blue wavy lines at the bottom end up competing with the blue parts in the UK flag, and how in general there's...
Bonjour.
Bonjour, papa.
C'est eux qui font le recensement général.
Le système de recensement, vous allez recenser.
Je ne connais pas ça. Ça, c'est pour faire quoi?
Pour le
Toi, tu ne sais même pas. Toi, tu es étudiant, tu ne connais pas les affaires que c'est pas là.
Non, je ne connais pas c'est quoi on appelle ça.
Le
en
recensement
français.
général des populations, pour connaître le nombre de Camerounais nous sommes. Tu ne sais même pas les sources publicitaires à la télé.
Ça passe à la télé, la radio, depuis avant, je ne sais même pas que c'est maintenant.
C'est pour connaître le nombre de populations qu'on a.
Ok,
Vous êtes nombre de combien alors dans votre maison?
c'est moi seul.
Toi seul.
Ouais.
Donne le nom alors.
Le nom c'est Onel.
Onel.
Oui,
Onel.
Onel, oui.
Oui. Onel n'a pas le prénom. Tu n'as pas le prénom.
Ngong. Onel Ngum. N-G.
Oui.
U.
I.
U.
Oui.
N. M.
Vous avez une date de naissance.
Le 15 mai.
Mais.
Oui.
Oui.
1998.
Où?
À Bamenda.
Ok, vous faites quoi dans la vie?
Je suis encore étudiant.
Vous êtes à quel niveau?
Pardon?
Niveau? Étudiant niveau?
Licence.
En 2020, en 2005, vous étiez où?
Là où on était,
En 2005.
j'étais à Bamenda.
Tu es encore à Paris. Tu fais dans l'agriculture? Non.
Si, j'ai fait dans l'agriculture. Oui,
Tu fais dans l'agriculture?
oui.
Tu fais quoi?
Je travaille avec mon père qui fait le cacao, avec les plantes.
Ce sont les hectares.
Oui, c'est
Combien?
8 hectares.
Votre hectare.
687. 687. 687, oui, c'est pas 96.
687.
62. 2025.
Merci. Bonne journée.
Ok. People are doing census.
Cover the blind.
The what?
They should cover back the blind.
Welcome back to another reaction video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for clicking on this video if this is your first time, and thank you and welcome back again if you have been on this channel before. So today's reaction video is about Canadian flags ranked, right? So they're ranking Canadian flags. No, sorry.
Canadian provinces.
Canadian provincial flags ranked. Yeah. So they're ranking the provincial flags of Canada in this video. And regardless of what the ranker is ranking, I am going to choose my own best flag that I see there. Yeah. So that is his own opinion. It is not mine. Yeah. So I don't want you to feel in a certain way if your own provincial flag is not ranked the way you would like. It depends. It's a very, very, very subjective topic. So yeah, tell us where you're watching from, which province, and if you like your flag too. Yeah. And which one is your best flag at all?
This video is sponsored by Brilliant.org. More on that later. Hi, this is Matt Baker. A few months ago, a certain YouTuber made a video called Does Your Flag Fail?, in which he graded all of the US state flags using a tier list. Well, since today is Canada Day, I thought it would be fun to do something similar, but this time using Canadian flags. Now, the first thing you need to know is that Canada is not made up of states. It's made up of provinces, 10 to be exact. However, in addition to its 10 provinces, Canada also has 3 territories. So in total, I'll be grading 13 flags.
Wow.
I'm going to go west to east, starting with the provincial flags, which means that the flag of British Columbia is up first. Now, British Columbia happens to be the province where I live, but I'm not going to give it any special treatment. And to tell you the truth, I am not a fan of this flag. For what?
If I was the one doing this, I would definitely give provincial treatment to my own flag. I needed to say that so that you know how biased I could be when it comes to loving my own things. Okay.
And to tell you the truth, I am not a fan of this flag.
Ooh.
For one thing, I really hate how the UK flag at the top is stretched out. I mean, that's just really bad graphic design. I also don't like how the blue wavy lines at the bottom end up competing with the blue parts in the UK flag, and how in general there's just way too many lines doing way too many things. You've got yellow curvy lines, blue curvy lines, red straight lines, blue triangles. I mean, it's kind of a mess. And then there's a crown thrown in on top too, and it's not even a very nice looking crown. So sorry, I'm going to have to give this one an F. Fellow British Columbians, if you disagree, feel free to give me grief in the comments.
No, that's too harsh.
Next up is Alberta.
Wow.
This is the only Canadian flag that looks a lot like a US flag. As you probably...
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
But I don't think the flag for British Columbia should take the F. I don't think it fails like that. Nah, I think it's kind of cool. The flag is cool. It's really cool. It's not...
Next up is Alberta. This is the only Canadian flag that looks a lot like a US flag. As you probably know, a lot of US state flags are simply the state coat of arms or seal on top of a blue background. The New York state flag is a good example of this. Well, the Alberta flag is basically the same thing. It's just the coat of arms of Alberta on a blue background. But I actually kind of like the Alberta coat of arms, so I therefore kind of have to like this flag too. I mean, it's got the Rocky Mountains, the foothills, some fields of wheat, all of which give you a pretty good idea of what Alberta looks like. So that's pretty cool. I do find it strange, though, that it incorporates only the red cross, which is the flag of England, rather than the full flag of the UK. I mean, personally, I think we should get rid of all the British elements in all of our flags, since Canada is now a country made up of people from lots of different backgrounds. So I don't know. Supposedly, it's a throwback to the coat of arms of the Hudson's Bay Company, which used to control what is now Alberta. Anyway, like I say, I do kind of like the flag, so I'm going to give it a C. We now come to Saskatchewan. First off, I like that the main colors are yellow and green, a combination that you don't tend to see a lot on flags from Western countries.
Honestly, the flag looks absolutely like nothing like you would have thought of as a Canadian flag.
Yeah.
Would have never really thought of it as a Canadian flag.
What is the flower on it?
Yeah, it looks like a flower or something like that. And with their coat of arms to the top left there. Oh wow.
The two colors are really a good combination.
Yeah, though I'm not a very big fan of yellow. Yellow is like really funny color.
Flags from Western countries. So this helps the Saskatchewan flag to really stand out when it's flying next to the other provincial flags. Plus, Saskatchewan is a very agricultural province, so the colors fit. I also like how their coat of arms is shown in the top left corner and how the provincial flower is placed on the right to balance it. So overall, I really like this flag. I'm going to give it an A.
Wow.
All right, next is Manitoba. And in order to explain this one, I first have to show you this. Before our famous maple leaf flag was adopted in 1964, this was actually the de facto flag of Canada.
Wow.
You'll notice that it follows a pattern similar to the flag of Australia.
Wait. So this was the first flag of Canada before they came
Yeah.
with the maple leaves.
Flag.
Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't know about that. Wow.
Wow, this is interesting. I didn't know that Canada had so many flag, another flag before this one. Oh, Canada.
Of Australia. You see, the UK has what's called a red ensign and a blue ensign, both of which are used for vessels at sea. The red one is used for merchant ships or private boats, whereas the blue one is used for ships in public service, such as the Coast Guard. The original flag of Canada was based on the red ensign, whereas the flag of Australia is based on the blue ensign. All of that to say that the flag of Manitoba follows the same pattern as the old flag of Canada. It's basically just
It's sure that the bison is the provincial animal of Manitoba because I see it on the flag there.
Is that a bison?
Yeah, that's a bison. Bison.
that the flag of Manitoba follows the same pattern as the old flag of Canada. It's
Okay.
basically just a red ensign with the Manitoban coat of arms on the right. Again, you've got the red cross to represent the Hudson's Bay Company, but this time below it, there's a bison, also known as an American buffalo. The North American prairies used to be full of bison, but then they almost went extinct before conservationists stepped in and helped them to rebuild their population. Anyway, I do like the inclusion of the bison, but overall, due
Yeah,
to
it's
its
really
lack
cool.
of creativity, this flag is just kind of meh. I'm going to put it in C with the Alberta flag.
Now,
Next up is Ontario, Canada's
Ooh.
largest province.
It's just the
And,
same.
well, it looks as
I think the difference is just
the flower.
Yeah, the flower. Then the other one will have the bison.
Yeah, that's all. Anyways, please, we like to have you guys join our channel membership. We wish to have at least 100 members, and so far we have gotten 3 members. We would like you to be our fourth member. Thank you so much. That would be that. Obviously, we are remaining with 97 people to have our minimum membership availability, and we are very sure with above 2,000 subscribers on this channel, 100 people to subscribe for our channel membership wouldn't be so many. Yeah, we appreciate every effort you do. Even if you cannot join the channel membership, still watching videos and watching them long enough is a good
great
gift.
support.
It's a great support to us. So let's keep moving.
though somebody copied someone else's homework because, yeah, the flags of Manitoba and Ontario are almost identical. I looked
Yeah,
into this
identical
and it
twins.
appears that Ontario adopted its flag about 1 month before Manitoba. So, sorry, Manitoba, but I think if somebody has to change their flag, it's going to have to be you. For this
Okay.
reason, I'm actually going to put Ontario's flag in the B section. If
Okay.
Manitoba did come up with something different, I do think it would be nice to have at least one flag that looks like the original Canadian flag. And being that Ontario is Canada's largest province and one of its original 4, I think it makes sense for Ontario to have that privilege. Plus, it's even got those 3 maple leaves like the old flag had. So I guess I'm being a bit nostalgic with this choice. All right, we've now
Right.
reached Quebec.
Oh,
And,
Quebec.
how shall I put this?
Ooh,
The rest of
wow,
Canada
white
has
and blue.
always had a bit of a rocky relationship with Quebec. I mean, they did try to leave us twice. In 1980, 40% of Quebecers voted to leave Canada. And in
They wanted to break up with Canada. I think
Why?
I heard this and I forgot that Quebec tried to leave Canada. Quebec, why would you want to break up?
Please don't
Don't do
that.
that. We want you all together as family. Imagine reacting to Canada and there was no Quebec. Ew. Quebec, stop. Their flag is probably the best flag for me right now. I might end up with this one as a favorite. I have to keep looking and see which one is better than this.
Because of the color combination.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of blue and white. It's so nice.
twice. In 1980, 40% of Quebecers voted to leave Canada. And in
Oh, yeah.
1995, support for separation rose to 49.5%. But even
Jesus.
though it was super close, the attempt failed. So Quebec is still one of the 10 Canadian provinces. However, it does have a unique history, and that can be seen in its flag. Not only was Quebec the first province to adopt its own flag, the design it chose makes it clear that Quebec is tied more to France historically than to England or the UK. Back in the 1600s, when Quebec was first settled as New France, the flag used by the French Navy looked like this. If you remove the royal emblem and then add 4 very French-looking fleur-de-lis symbols, voila, you have the flag of
Voila.
Quebec. An extremely simple design based on blue and white that nicely contrasts with the maple leaf flag, which is based on red and white. In other words, I think that the design of the Quebec flag raises it to the level of a national flag, which is fitting considering that Quebec sees itself as a nation within a nation. This is therefore going to be the first flag that I'm going to put in the S, or super category.
Wow.
Okay, next up is the 4 smallest Canadian provinces, starting with New Brunswick. One thing I forgot to mention about British
Wow,
Columbia's
their
flag
flag is so
is
nice.
that it is simply
Wow.
its coat of arms stretched out, which is why the UK flag looks so bad. Well, this flag is similar in that it's simply New Brunswick's coat of arms stretched out. But for some reason, I think this one works way better. It uses the same 4 colors, but here they don't interfere with each other like they do in the BC one. Plus, I just really like the boat. From a
It's really
drawing
nice.
point of view, I think it's just really nicely designed. It represents either New Brunswick's shipbuilding industry or the arrival of loyalists following the American Revolution. The lion, well, that's the part I like the least.
I have to have a question, please. Do Canada build ships? Do they build ships or submarines?
Or they import them.
Or do they import them? Like these cargo ships? Or does Canada have a shipyard where they build ships? I just like to know. I don't mean like these small boats, but yeah. Do you guys build ships? And which is the most famous Canadian car brand? I think I've asked this question several times. I don't know if I have an answer.
Yeah, I think they don't like actually have a particular
Car brand,
Yes.
yeah, but they produce auto like car parts.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Tell us the most like famous things that like Canadians produce. I mean, like mechanical or machine, machine that comes from Canada that we might be using and not knowing that it's Canadian.
Mostly because it's stretched out, but also because it's yet another colonial symbol, being based on either England's coat of arms or Brunswick's in Germany, which is where the name New Brunswick comes from. All in all, I'm going to give it a B. Next up is Prince Edward Island. It's very similar to New Brunswick's, but I like it far less.
It's kind
For one thing, I really don't like the alternating red and white rectangles on 3 out of the 4 sides. I mean, why? It just makes it look messy. And the trees, well, the problem there is that there doesn't seem to be a consistent design that is always used. There's always 3 little trees on the left, which represent PEI's 3 counties, and one big tree on the right, representing England. But there doesn't seem to be any set standard with regard to how to draw them, because I've seen the trees drawn in lots of different ways. So, sorry, Prince Edward Island. Even though I loved visiting you pretty much every year when I was a kid, I don't really like your flag. I'm going to have to give it an F. So the reason
that should
why
be
I
C or
visited
B.
PEI so much as a kid is because I grew up just next door in the province of Nova Scotia. That's where I was born, and that's where I spent my first 18
I think their flag
years.
is the best.
The words Nova Scotia are
Scotia,
Latin
wow,
for
it's
New Scotland,
nice.
and its flag is very much tied to Scotland as well. First of all, the main part is the reverse of the Scottish flag. So instead of a white cross on blue, Nova Scotia has a blue cross on white.
Okay.
In addition to this, in the
Wow.
middle is the coat of arms of Scotland, which gives the flag just a little more color and makes it more interesting. And here, I have to admit that I am probably biased. I grew up in Nova Scotia, and I love this flag.
It's
Maybe it's
absolutely
because I
beautiful.
saw it so much growing up, but maybe it's because it's just a really nice design. You let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm going to give it an S.
I knew
We've
it.
now come to the final Canadian province, Newfoundland. The first thing I like about this flag is that it is not in
99.
any way connected to its corresponding coat of arms. All of the Canadian provinces, except for Quebec and Newfoundland, have flags that are based on their coats of arms. This just seems lazy to me. So
No.
I'm impressed that Newfoundland went out of its way to come up with something unique. This probably boils down to the fact that Newfoundland was the final province to join Canada, as well as the last to adopt a provincial flag. I also like how it kind of looks like the UK flag, which to me is a great design. But at the same time, it's also quite different. It's got that yellow arrow pointing outwards from the flagpole, which I think creates a nice effect. And if you turn it 90 degrees, it also looks like the pendants that were worn by Newfoundland's native population.
Wow,
This was
this
done
makes
on
sense.
purpose and I think makes for a nice touch. So as you can tell, I really like this flag. For me, it's another S. So that's the 10 provinces. But we're not done yet because we still have 3
Territories.
territorial flags to do. Again, we'll go west to east, which means that Yukon is up first.
I
really
am
conflicted.
feeling like this should be the best flag ever.
All are the best for you.
I feel like this should be the best at this point. Absolutely. See their flag. Want to look like one of the African flag or South America. Like it's just something different you've never seen anywhere.
Which means that Yukon is up first. I'm really conflicted about this one because on one hand, I absolutely love the coat of arms in the middle. It's got a Malamute dog, often used to pull sleds. It's got 2 mountains with some wavy rivers in between. And it's got some really nice flowers at the bottom. But on the other hand, I really, really don't like the green and blue stripes on the sides.
I
It makes the
absolutely
flag
love
seem
it.
unbalanced to
They're
me.
really good.
love
Honestly,
it.
if they removed those and just had the shield on a plain white background, this
Yeah,
would have been
that's
an
really
A
nice.
for me. I mean, it's the Yukon. It snows a lot. White would have been perfect. The green is supposed to represent Yukon's forests, and the blue its rivers and lakes. But like I said, I think they just ruin it. The
No,
coat
they
of arms
didn't.
is already a bit too busy,
Yeah,
and the
it's good,
stripes
it's good.
just make it even more busy. Too much going on. So sadly, I'm going to have to place it in D.
Absolutely
is the-
no way. That one is S tier for me. S tier for me.
The flag is really good.
It is absolutely S.
Northwest Territories. I like that this time the stripes on the 2 sides match. But I think the coat of arms is not quite as nice as the Yukon one. Sure, there's a cute white fox and a blue wavy line representing the Northwest Passage through the ice, but the green and red part seems a bit too abstract for me. The green is supposed to represent the forest south of the tree line, with the yellow rectangles representing the resources found there. And the red is supposed to represent the tundra to the north, but you probably wouldn't have figured all that out unless I had told you, which is why I think the whole thing kind of falls flat. So I'm going to have to put it next to its friend, the Yukon, in D. Okay, last but not least is Nunavut, a territory that was only created in 1999.
Let's go back to that D. I don't think that flag should go to D. Either B or A for me. I'm taking A or B for that one.
I'll take a B.
D. Okay, last but not least is Nunavut, a
Nunavut.
territory that was only created in 1999, when the Northwest Territories was split in two. The flag features an Inukshuk, which is a pile of stones used by indigenous peoples to serve as kind of a marker. The word Inukshuk means like a human, which is why they often look like a standing person. Although unconventional, I think this flag is actually great because it makes use of this indigenous symbol that is so strongly associated with the Canadian North. Personally, I would have preferred it without the star in order to make the design even more simple and stark, but it does have a cool meaning. It represents the leadership and wisdom of indigenous elders. So overall, I like this one. I'm going to give it an A.
Yeah.
So
good call.
obviously these rankings are just my personal opinion, and this video was just a bit of fun. But I'm interested to know what you think. Was
Yes,
I
please.
totally off on any of these?
Yes,
Which
you
one
were.
do you think is the best? What about the worst?
I think the one
Let
of
me know
Nova
in the
Scotia
comments.
and Quebec.
And before you go,
Nova
let me tell you
Scotia is
about
actually good for me.
brilliant.org,
I think I
an
love it so
amazing
much.
I'll link in the video in the description below.
So head in there.
Which one is your best? You said Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I'll take Quebec because, of course, it has blue. Why?
Why?
I'm confused between Nova Scotia and Quebec because Nova Scotia also has blue and white, and it also has gold on it. Their coat of arms is gold color, and I'm a big fan of gold color.
Don't be confused. When you go back after this video, think about it.
I'm not thinking about it. I'm taking Quebec and Nova Scotia.
Take one.
I'm not taking one. I'm taking two. It's possible for somebody to marry two wives, right?
No,
That's provincial polygamy.
but it's not possible for you.
It's polyprovincial.
Okay.
Fully provincial. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I would really like to see your opinion on this one. I think this is a very subjective topic,
So
so
subjective.
yeah, you have to tell us what you think, what you feel that guy did. Of course, at the end of the day, we still saw the flags, and we never had any idea
Yeah.
what the flags look
Here
like.
in our country, we don't have ours.
Provincial flags or
Yes.
regional flags, something like that. Yeah,
We just have one flag for the country:
which is
green, red, yellow.
Cameroon flag. Bobby top say.
Ah,
Anyways, thank you. We love you so much.
so much.